Coming up on this week's edition of the Met Report, the softball team is back under second-year head coach Christy Lansford. We will tell you how they did on this opening weekend.
We give you a look at the upcoming restaurant week hitting the Mile High City.
And we'll bring you all the highlights from this year's homecoming. All this and more coming up next. Welcome to this week's edition of the Met Report. I'm Jeffrey Will.
And I'm Leah Raaflaub. Homecoming this week for MSU Denver kicked off the festivities with a Battle of the Bands competition. 5 MSU Denver bands took the stage in the Tivoli Turn Hall on Monday. All the bands received a cash prize just for competing. However, the winner was given the opportunity to perform at the annual bonfire last night. Throughout the entire day of performances, around 200 students made their way in and out of the Turn Hall to listen to the bands. The band that took the first place spot and the opportunity to perform at the bonfire was Devout Cast.
With homecoming started and in full swing, MSU held its annual Amazing Race competition. 8 teams competed in the Amazing Race around campus for the gold medal. The race consisted of 3 legs with teams eliminated at the end of each leg. Teams had to overcome a variety of challenges that include being able to speak a different language, finding history of the Tivoli, a fry eating contest, and navigating uphill in a wheelchair. Our very own Office of Student Media participated in the race, however they were eliminated after the second leg of the race. The final 3 teams sprinted to the final event and the big wheel race. The winner of the Amazing Race was Student Success, with student activities trailing behind by only a few seconds for the second place spot. Congratulations to all the teams that took part in this year's Amazing Race.
Last night, as the sun went down, MSU Denver held its homecoming bonfire. Hundreds of students gathered together for the annual bonfire to relax and celebrate. The fire could be seen from hundreds of yards away as the flames towered 20 feet into the air. Food trucks that are normally around campus were giving out free food to students to enjoy, one of which was s'mores. With homecoming finishing up this weekend, don't forget to stop by the Auraria Event Center tonight and tomorrow night at 5 to cheer on the women and the #1 nationally ranked men's basketball teams.
There has been many changes to the Auraria campus, making the commute for students more difficult. Some of the new changes you might have noticed is the new bike path going across campus between the West Classroom and the Arts Building. Also, both the Redwood and Cottonwood parking lots are now closed, which means even more students are turning to public transportation. And RTD's new smart cards. We took a survey of 110 students and faculty on campus to get an idea of the preferred method of travel to and from campus. Our data indicates that 35% prefer driving a car to campus, 30% use the light rail, and 24% take a bus. All other methods combined were just over 10%. Keep in mind there are semester-long parking passes available for purchase through the Parking and Transportation Services.
Starting next week, every student on the Auraria campus will be required to have the new RTD Smart Card if you use public transportation. RTD will no longer take the student ID with the sticker as a form of payment, and actually failing to tap the new card before boarding RTD will have its penalties. First offense will be a written warning. Second offense will be a 7-day suspension of the card. The third offense being a 20-day suspension. And on a 4th offense, the pass will actually be confiscated. No refunds or credit will be issued for confiscated passes for the remainder of the semester. For more information about the new RTD Smart Card and how to use it, you can visit rtddenver.com and search RTD Smart Card.
The Aviation and Aerospace Department is in a concept stage of a groundbreaking new building named the STEM Concept Building, which will combine other departments such as science, technology, engineering, and math. The Brookings Institute, along with Governor, was here on campus and ranked Colorado as #1 in the aerospace industry. Department Chair Dr. Jeff Forrest said the building will be located next to the Student Success Building and is scheduled for groundwork in 2016.
Students, do you find it difficult to make yourself stand out from others when interviewing for a job? The Auraria Career Day can give you tips on improving your chances of getting a job. The event features 3 workshops in which students learn about LinkedIn, networking online, and how to dress accordingly for a job interview. This year's keynote speaker is Ariana Yama Kogelis. Kogelis is a Fortune 500 executive and published author who will be discussing personal branding. Auraria Career Day is February 13th in the Tivoli Room 320 and begins at 9:30 a.m.
The workshop sounds to be great for a lot of the graduating students this semester.
Absolutely. Really beneficial.
Coming up after the break, Paula Ruelas tells us all the juicy gossip in Hollywood, plus a big-time celeb in Denver who is in trouble.
And we give you an inside look at the new art exhibit coming to the Denver Art Museum.
The Met Report is brought to you today in part by Health Center at Auraria, a proud sponsor of the Healthy Moves program. Healthy Moves brings Zumba, belly dancing, Nia, Pilates, and yoga classes to Auraria for free as part of tuition and fees. Classes are offered Monday through Friday, and you can find the full schedule on the Wellness channel in Connect You or on the Health Center website at msudenver.edu/healthymoves. Also, real-time updates are on Twitter at BeWellAuraria, and news and events are on Facebook at Health Center at Auraria.
Denver Restaurant Week, more commonly known as 5280, is right around the corner. We go out and get the inside scoop with Katie Converse, communications specialist of Visit Denver, and Gary Mobell, owner of Bluebonnet Restaurant. Food lovers around the state are counting down the days until one of Colorado's greatest dining treats begins its 2-week extravaganza.
Denver Restaurant Week is the pinnacle of dining events here in Denver.
Denver Restaurant Week begins February 23rd and runs through March 8th, offering customers a chance to dine for 2 at the low price of $52.80.
Restaurant Week was started by Visit Denver, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, in order to elevate Denver's dining scene in its locals' minds.
The popularity of this event has skyrocketed in recent years, now including over 350 restaurants, making it the largest restaurant week in the entire nation. It's no wonder many establishments are jumping on the bandwagon and becoming part of this event. Gary Mobell, owner of Bluebonnet Cafe on South Broadway, is one among many restaurants joining the event for the first time this year.
We really don't know what to expect and what this is going to do for our restaurant. But we like to try new things. $52.80 dinner allows our guest to have the opportunity to try a number of different things over quite a few courses.
And diners will be pleased to know that many restaurants offer special plates to accommodate the diners' needs.
So not only do we have vegetarian options, we also have gluten-free options as well.
When asked what recommendations Katie Converse had for diners during Denver Restaurant Week, she responded,
If you already have a restaurant that you want to go out and try, definitely call them up or go on the website and get a reservation now. Also, remember that tip is not included, so take care of your waiters. That $52.80 doesn't include a tip, so make sure you take care of the folks that take care of you.
So take advantage of this event and get involved. For further questions, www.visitdenver.com has all the information you'll need to be completely ready.
The Denver Art Museum is welcoming a new exhibit set to open on February 10th. The exhibit is called Georgia O'Keeffe in New Mexico, Architecture, Kitsanam, and the Land. It will feature 53 pieces of her artwork, including 15 rarely seen pictures. The exhibit explores O'Keeffe's paintings of New Mexico's Hispanic and Native American architecture, cultural objects, and her own New Mexico landscapes. Exhibit curator Thomas Smith tells us about the Georgia O'Keeffe's impact on New Mexico's culture.
She came to New Mexico, painted, took those paintings back, and exhibited them in New York. And so many of the people I think that first saw those paintings in New York would not have ever experienced New Mexico.
The exhibit will be open until April 28th and is included as part of general admission.
After a week of being held hostage, an Alabama boy is finally reunited with his family. 65-year-old Jimmy Lee Dykes invaded a local school bus on January 29th, killing the bus driver and kidnapping a 5-year-old student, Ethan. Ethan was held in a bunker for nearly a week before FBI and Midland City officials were able to rescue him. For days, officers did, however, have communication to the suspect through a PVC pipe and were able to pass medicine, food, and toys to the boy. After failed negotiations, agents stormed the bunker, freeing Ethan and leaving the suspect dead at the scene. More details about the schedule are scheduled to be released, once officials can investigate the bunker more thoroughly.
A local icon may be leaving soon. The blue Mustang sculpture outside of DIA is now eligible to leave Colorado. Famous for its haunting red eyes, the artwork is both loved and hated by many. Petitions remove public installations are not accepted by the city for the first 5 years to avoid hasty removal of art. The Mustang turns 5 on February 11th and therefore is open to public discussion regarding its removal.
The U.S. Postal Service made a drastic change to help cut their billion-dollar deficit this week, announcing they will stop delivering letters on Saturday, changing into a 5-day schedule. The financially struggling agency said the change to 5-day mail delivery schedule will take effect in August and will save about $2 billion annually. Although the Postal Service will continue to deliver packages on a 6-day schedule and post offices will continue to be open on Saturdays.
This weekend, a big storm is supposed to hit the Denver metro area. Dave Reiser, what does the weekend look like?
There's a big storm system coming in from the west that's going to be affecting primarily the western slope and the central mountains. Durango and Gunnison are looking at very cold temperatures and about a foot or more of snowfall. If you plan on going into the mountains this weekend, be aware that there is going to be heavy snowfall up and down the mountains and low visibility. That storm is then going to move later into the metro area, but not really take much effect until later that night. It's going to be around an inch or so of snow for the Denver metro area, depending on exactly where you are. But again, if you're out, especially if you're going to the metro basketball games on Saturday, make sure that you are prepared for that potential weather that could be happening after the game. Moving ahead to Sunday, we're looking at a little bit more mild temperatures, 35 in Denver with a low of 20. Most of the snowfall will have happened in Denver by then, so you're not going to have to worry as much about that. Out in Lamar, 46, it's going to be windy out there. A lot of this storm is kind of blowing off and creating a lot of wind in that area. Looking ahead now to what's going to happen the rest of the week, we're going to have fairly cold temperatures on Monday and Tuesday, partly cloudy skies, moving into warmer temperatures, warming up close to 50 again, as we've been getting sort of accustomed to, with sunny skies, cooling off a little bit Friday and then moving into the weekend to have a little bit cooler weather. That's going to do it for the weather this week. We'll be right back.
Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. No matter what they say, words can't bring me down.
Where I bring Hollywood a mile high.
Aligning the Hollywood stars over Denver.
I'm here to bring you the latest juicy gossip from the mile high to the streets of Hollywood.
Give your most handsome look to that camera.
Where I'll be bringing you the latest gossip from Tinseltown all the way up to a mile high.
I didn't get any injuries. I was okay. I was a little dancing, these, you know. Check us out every Friday live at 12:30 p.m. on The Met Report.
Now joining us for EntertainMET is the fabulous Paula Ruelas. Paula?
Hey Metro, I'm Paula Ruelas with this week's edition of EntertainMET. Well, I'll bring the latest gossip from Tinseltown all the way up to a mile high. Now I know most of you probably watched the Super Bowl this past Sunday, some for the actual game and others for the always memorable commercials, and there is one you might never forget. The GoDaddy Nerd commercial has been a huge hit. You know, the one with Bar Raffaelli making out with Jesse Hyman? Well, the whole point of the commercial was that when sexy meets smart, your small business scores. Since the commercial aired during the Super Bowl, Jesse Hyman has become famous. He says, and I quote, "I've actually had guys tweet me that they wish they were me, and girls tweet me saying that they wish they were Bar," end quote. Way to become the envy of so many, Jesse. Looks like Chris Brown may be in trouble yet again, as there's a possibility he violated his probation that he was ordered to complete after beating Rihanna back in 2009. His probation consisted of 180 days of community service, and it appears Brown may have lied about how many days he actually did. Brown was ordered to appear in court on Wednesday and was accompanied by none other than Miss Riri herself. As of now, there is no word as to whether the allegations are true, but if they are, Brown may face jail time. I wonder if Rihanna will stick by him if he's donning an orange jumpsuit. Award season is always an exciting time, and fortunately, the Grammys are just around the corner. This year, the nominees for Best New Artist are Alabama Shakes, Fun, Hunter Hayes, the Denver-based Lumineers, and Frank Ocean. Well, I'm a sucker for country music, so my fingers are crossed for you, Mr. Hayes. Next, the nominees for Song of the Year are Ed Sheeran, The A-Team, Miguel Pimentel, Adorn, Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe, Kelly Clarkson, Stronger, and Fun, We Are Young. You either loved it or you hated it, but you can't deny that Call Me Maybe was a huge hit, so it'll likely win. And finally, the nominees for Album of the Year are The Black Keys, Fun, Mumford & Sons, Frank Ocean, and Jack White. These are all fantastic musicians, so it'll be interesting to see who steals this award. The 55th Annual Grammy Awards will air this Sunday at 8/7 Central on CBS, so don't miss it. Now bringing it back to the Colorado Rockies, it appears our beloved first baseman Todd Helton is trading RBIs for DUIs. Helton was arrested for drunken driving at approximately 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Apparently, his black truck was reported to police after it was seen crashing into a median. Police tracked Helton to a nearby gas station where they arrested the athlete and charged him with not one, not two, but 3 counts of DUI. Helton released the following statement: "I hold myself to a high standard and take my responsibilities as a public figure very seriously. I humbly ask your forgiveness," end quote. Shame, 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 Todd. Well, in honor of your arrest, let's take a look back at the year's most embarrassing mugshots.
Wow, those are some memorable moments from the year.
Oh, I know, they're so embarrassing. I think Lisa Robin Kelly's is by far the worst one.
Absolutely.
They all look the same to me. 8 kinds of stupid.
Coming up after the break, Kevin Hall will get everyone updated on all Met Report sports.
All night long and do it all again so I can find my way back home.
The sun seems to shine a little less since you've been gone.
You were the one I wanted. Don't stray, don't ever go away.
I'll just smile and everyone will wanna go with it. Oh.
Now on desk for Met Report Sports is Kevin Hall. Kevin, how are things looking for the teams?
Well, basketball season is just starting to wind down. Softball and baseball season just starting to wind up, but we'll start with some basketball. The women's basketball team has been quietly having a good season. A couple of winning streaks, and they're just a couple of games back out of first place in the RMAC. And now with Janessa Burke returning to the lineup after missing nearly 2 months with an injury, the offense looks to start gaining some more momentum. Metro had 3 players reach double figures and had 32 points from off the bench, including 8 from Burke. Cassie Lambrecht led the way with 16 points and added in 4 steals and 4 assists. Metro led by 16 at the half, and their win margin of 36 points ended up being the biggest margin of the game. The next night, the team took on Black Hills State in a defensive battle for a 54-44 win. Big weekend ahead for both teams when they take on Colorado Mines tonight and Colorado Christian tomorrow night for the homecoming game. Now, 14 weeks into the season and throughout all of college basketball, there are only 3 teams that are undefeated. One of those is our own men's basketball team. Chadron was no match for the Division II powerhouse, even with Metro's new lineup. Jamal McClurkin, Jordan Hunter, Derek January all made their first career starts, but the team still had the big man Jonathan Morse under the rim to lead the team with 16. The game became close with just under 4 left to play when Chadron got within 3 points, but Metro held on for the 63-51 win. The men also traveled to Spearfish, South Dakota to take on Black Hills State, and they won that one 70-55 to stay perfect on the season, and they have now tied the longest streak in school history at that #1 spot. Last week we showed you what's coming up for the softball team this season, and now it's time for that first pitch. First up for the Roadrunners was Adams State, who finished a couple games below Metro last season. On the mound for the Runners was senior stud Aubrey Mall, whose preseason awards matched her strikeouts on the day with 5. Next, it was the offense's turn to start it up. Talking about Chelsea Brew, who had not 1 but 2 home runs, including this 3-run blast. Outfielder Mary Towner also decided to get in on the home run action with one of her own, and Metro routs the Grizzlies 13-5 for their first win of the season. The team had 4 other games last weekend, winning against Regis twice and losing against Colorado Mines and UC Colorado Springs. For her performance over the weekend, Mall was named RMAC Pitcher of the Week. Next up for the team is the Desert Stinger Tournament, which is taking place this weekend. Coming into last season for the baseball team, you could have called it a rebuilding year. The team had a new coach and had to replace 18 seniors. Head coach Jared Otis went through some growing pains in his first year, but has some big plans for this upcoming season.
Let's go to regionals, win regionals, and hopefully get to the World Series and win that.
I mean, that's one of those things that we want to get accomplished and get done, and it's definitely one of our goals.
Last year, the team had 10 freshmen who accounted for 40% of the team's RBIs, and they're going to be called upon again to make this goal a reality.
For a bunch of young guys, throwing them into the mix right away, they did a phenomenal job going through the process, and they had their ups, they had their downs, but they really grew, and that's really what you're looking for young guys.
One of those players is Daryl Bacca, who in addition to leading the team in home runs last season, was named Freshman of the Year and was named to both the conference and regional preseason team this year.
He had a great year last year. He's got a phenomenal work ethic. He shows up to the yard every day and gets done what he needs to get done, and he'll continue to progress the way he has, and he'll continue to lead our team.
I was trying to go out and prove myself, I guess, knowing what I had done last year. So just trying to be within myself, take what I did last year, build on it, and know that there's not a whole lot of, I guess, myself that I need to put on the field. I need to just go out there and play ball.
With 5 returning starters to this year's squad, the pitching staff looks to improve on a team ERA that ranked 5th out of 8 in the conference.
It's coming together real well. It's a lot better than last year, actually. We have probably like 4 or 5 guys who are hitting 90, and we have a lot more depth. Last year we had maybe 3 or 4 bullpen guys. This year we have 8 or 9.
The team was picked 5th in the preseason coaches poll, so for them to accomplish their goal, it would definitely prove some doubters wrong. Now the baseball season is already underway. The team is taking on Fort Hays State just outside, and we'll play them again later today as part of a doubleheader, and then once more at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
I personally cannot wait to check out the Mines game tonight. I'm trying to get front row seats to that.
Everyone got to pack the house, support the teams.
Absolutely. It'll be a fun game. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Met Report. For Paula Ruelas, Kevin Hall, Jeffrey Will, and I'm Leah Raaflaub. We'll see you on campus.